You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Thank you so much for being with us here at 6 a.m. It is a wet start to the day.
Yes.
I'm Nada Iranpour.
And I'm Evan Irani in for Eric Connor. We want to start off with a check at the forecast. More than half an inch came down overnight in many spots on San Diego County's map. Here's the wider look to start, and then we'll zoom in to San Diego specifically, where we do have some remaining sprinkles coming down, but tapering off now into the next about 2 hours or so as people head outside and mainly to the Bayfront, to the Port of San Diego for the Holiday Bowl Parade. That's going to be at 10 a.m. We're expecting dry skies out there. Temperature still on the cooler side. Coming up, we'll talk about the strong chance of New Year's Eve and New Year's Day showers in the mix.
In the meantime, we have to enforce it, but I think it's overdue.
And that, of course, right there is President Joe Biden. He's reacting now to a Supreme Court decision to keep Title 42 in place indefinitely. The pandemic-era policy has been allowing the U.S. to expel asylum seekers for public health reasons, initially citing COVID-19. 19 Republican-led states argued that lifting Title 42 would lead to an overwhelming number of people crossing the border. The High Court says it'll start listening to arguments on this policy in February. Title 42 will likely stay in effect until a final ruling is issued. That possibly may not happen until next summer. In the meantime, so many migrants continuing now to be dropped off at San Diego bus stations by Customs and Border Protection officers. And activists think these drop-offs are politically motivated, but as CBS 8's Regina Urita reports, people seeking asylum are caught in the middle of all this.
200 pesos mexicanos es lo único que me acompaña.
With only 200 Mexican pesos to his name, Francisco Goya, a Colombian migrant who for months had been waiting in Tijuana for asylum, was thrilled to hear that he was granted asylum and was led into the U.S. from the San Ysidro port of entry.
Para llegar aquí fue algo que...
Goya says that's where he and dozens of others were loaded onto a bus and dropped off at the El Cajon Transit Center by Customs and Border Protection. While many migrants feel fortunate to make it into the U.S., activists say migrants are being left stranded at drop-off locations with no support or resources and are blaming the Department of Homeland Security for the lack of support.
It exposes them, it places them at the risk of being harmed by people that are seeking to exploit them.
Local activist Pedro Rios says the frequent drop-offs carrying a multitude of migrants to a location with no resources only shows the unfair treatment migrants experience. Rios also believes there could be political motivations. This comes at the same time that the Supreme Court has decided the future of Title 42, a policy that has expelled thousands of migrants seeking asylum back to their country. But even with Title 42 in place, migrants continue to cross.
The Department of Homeland Security has done a better job in the past. We've seen the efficiency that it used to support Ukrainian migrants.
Rios adds that it's unfortunate that the Biden administration, in its 2 years of being in the White House, did not develop a plan to ensure that at the end of Title 42, migrants could be welcomed with dignity. Regina Urita, CBS 8.
And you see so many people of all ages, parents with their young children, too. We did reach out to Customs and Border Protection to ask why more migrants are being dropped off than usual. They have yet to respond to our requests for any interviews.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
I used to have a lot of fondness for Southwest, but not anymore.
Clearly seems like Southwest has lost their ability to control the situation.
I am going to cancel and request a refund and never fly Southwest again.
There you have it. This morning, Southwest has already canceled more than 2,000 flights nationwide for just today. The airline is reducing flights as it tries to get its systems back on track by next week. Southwest CEO says the company is now trying to process refunds. President Biden says his administration is, quote, working to ensure airlines are held accountable. Now, many travelers trying to get home tell us that they would rather drive instead of trying to rebook a flight. The car rental center near the San Diego International Airport was full yesterday. You see those massive lines at Enterprise and many of the other rental car agencies. Some people were told to try again today.
I'm kind of in disbelief, really. So, yeah, I was really hoping to make it home.
And now Southwest says that they will honor requests for reimbursements on meals, hotels, and alternate transportation. So they say hang on to those receipts, track your expenses, and that they will reimburse those totals. We're working for you to find out what other rights you have as a traveler. If your flight is canceled for any reason, including bad weather, you are entitled to a refund. Airhelp.com and Flightright.com are helpful websites to see if you can get a reimbursement. They also say that's regardless of if you purchased travel insurance or flight insurance when you bought your ticket. Airlines also are requiring to refund any fees associated with damaged or lost bags. In the meantime, unclaimed luggage continues to pile up at the airport here in San Diego and across the country. San Diego International tells us they're working directly with Southwest on getting information to flyers and providing extra security at baggage claim. There have been reports out of Sacramento that bags were found rifled through a ditch near the curb. There are a few ways, though, to find your baggage if it has been lost. So they suggest Apple AirTags to attach to your bag. They give you an exact location of where your bags are. And the airlines, some of them have apps that have baggage tracking features as well.
And new concerns this morning now on the weather for Buffalo, New York specifically. I mean, look at the city here. The city's digging out from under more than 4 feet of snow. Officials are bracing now for potential flooding. That's because the forecast there today in the 40s, and that's going to last for a few days, which means all of this snow is going to melt. There's concern that that rapid snow melt will inundate the city's drainage system. It's not set up to handle all of that rushing water. I mean, look at the damage that you've seen. The severe winter storm being blamed for at least 55 deaths across the country now. More than half of those were in Buffalo, New York. Here at home, the Ocean Beach Pier, it's closed this morning. San Diego lifeguards closing it off as a precaution against some possibly high surf. We saw that yesterday, too. Past winter storms seriously have damaged the pier. Lifeguards are going to reevaluate the closure later today, and the high surf coming in with the storm that came in overnight.
A lot of people are gearing up for the first time ever. Football will be played at Petco Park today. We're talking about the Holiday Bowl game between the North Carolina Tar Heels and the Oregon Ducks. Before that, you can watch America's largest balloon parade. CBS 8's Chris Groh is live downtown with a preview of it all. Chris, it is wild to see Petco Park turned into a football field, and you got the two rival teams there behind you. I'm sure they're gearing up for the game. Chris?
And it should be a really exciting game between Oregon, the 15th ranked team in the nation, and the UNC Tar Heels. In fact, you can already kind of maybe even feel a little bit of the tension here between the two teams' floats here. We've got the Oregon Ducks, quack, quack, as well as the UNC Tar Heels. Don't know exactly what sound a Tar Heel makes, so I won't try to embarrass myself on live TV again. But yeah, the Holiday Bowl, it's so great to have this back, guys, because as we've been remarking all morning so far today, is the fact that this hasn't been something that's gone on in 2 years' time. Remember, this was canceled in 2020 and again in 2021. So this is an opportunity not only for these two teams, but also for the city of San Diego to be back there on that national stage for college football fans. Of course, Oregon representing the Pac-12, UNC representing the ACC. Both teams having won 9 games this year. Oregon led by a longtime starter, actually a former starter for the Auburn Tigers, Bo Nix, a name that many college football fans are well aware of, a dual threat quarterback, and UNC being led by the newest of a crop of young quarterbacks, Drake May, a likely 2024 first-round draft pick. So the over-under set at around 70 points this morning. That could either go down or up depending on what the weather will be at kickoff, but this should be a high-flying and high-scoring game. Now, as for high-flying, starting at 10 a.m., we will be seeing those balloons in the air, that parade going on. Yes, the Holiday Bowl parade billed as the largest balloon parade in the nation. Again, America's largest balloon parade. It's going to consist of 24 giant balloons, 3 floats, 18 specialty units, and 12 marching bands, including obviously those from Oregon and North Carolina, going to be representing their schools as well too. So it'll be a fun time. It'll start over by the convention center. In fact, you can see the parade route there on your screen, but you can also go to CBS8.com to see that, and going down Harbor Drive, making their way through downtown San Diego towards Pacific Highway should be a great time for friends and family. And again, that's free entertainment if you're able to go out there and get a spot and brave the elements. But if you'd like to stay home, something else you can do is that on your Fire TV or your Roku TV, go ahead and download the CBA Plus app. We will be live streaming it. Evan, we know that you're going to be part of that coverage as well, too, making sure that people are entertained but also well informed here as we have this Holiday Bowl parade. And we're close to the new year, but what better way to kind of send out 2022 than by, of course, watching the America's largest balloon parade here in America's finest city. Evan?
That's right, Chris. Yeah, a lot of people are wondering whether or not we're going to be having rain over the course of the parade or the game itself. So let's jump into the forecast now and see what's going to be going on. Starting off with a live look outside, you can still kind of see on the lens of this camera a little bit of raindrops still making their way through, causing these different colors to really beam through as we scan around downtown San Diego and specific the airport. Looks like over the next couple hours around the downtown area, we'll still pick up on a little bit of a drizzle out there. And then those showers will come to a halt as early as 7 and 8 a.m. We've seen satellite radar imagery already, and we can actually just go back to that here, tapering off for the most part. So most of those showers have come to a halt. There's still just a few remaining spots, but downtown San Diego, where this parade and ball game are going to be taking place, well, we're already mainly dry, and we're not expecting anything major to come through over the next couple hours. Temperatures are going to stay on the cooler end, low 60s out there. Take a look at the high surf advisory that remains all the way through 4 p.m. on Thursday. So the timing on this is pretty extensive. It covers our coastline from the South Bay all the way up through Orange County. 5 to 8 foot waves out there, a dangerous risk of rip currents. That means only experienced surfers or swimmers should be in the water. And we, of course, usually advise that when we get half an inch or 3/4 of an inch like we saw in the last just several hours, it's a good idea to stay out of the water for at least a couple days. Looking at your 5-day forecast, we've got stagnation as far as your temperatures go. We're going to be in the low 60s all the way through your New Year's. Looks like by New Year's Day we'll drop down to 57. We're going to dry out for Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday, your New Year's Eve, as well as New Year's Day. In fact, that transition as we ring in the new year could be rather soggy out there. Some more wet weather expected.